What's up, YouTube? Curtain6693 here to bring you gaming anime news as well as anything that I find interesting. Today, I wanted to just kind of go down the list of the Xbox and PS4 and just in general, just talk about the pros and cons of each console. I won't talk about every single little detail, but I'm just going to give some general headlines, some things that I know about the consoles, and just give my ups and downs of both, because there are ups and downs of both, and I just want to talk about them and address them from a gamer point of view. I want to start off with the Xbox One. Okay, so as you guys know, just to give you a little bit of background. The Xbox One has been having a bunch of 180s lately. A bunch of things have been changing. Such as DVR policies, headset, Connect. It's just been all over the place. But a lot of people are saying that as of now, the Xbox and PS4 are pretty much looking the same, and that it may come down to games, and you'll actually find not much of an argument here. I will say there is a difference, but from a person who doesn't know a lot about the consoles, I can understand. Like, I mean, now they both have DVR. No, I mean, they both don't have DVR. They both have similar specs. They're both having TV services. Xbox is coming with a headset now. Well, basically, they're kind of evening out now. But I'll just start with the Xbox One and the pros and cons. Now the pros. Well, first the pros. I think that one of the pros of the Xbox One, some of the pros are the exclusives. Now, me personally, there are some exclusives out there that they look good, but I don't really care for them. Like, everyone's happy for everybody's excited for Titanfall. Me personally, it looks like a Call of Duty Robots. I mean, it looks good, but I'm just saying, like, I don't care for. I'm not losing sleep over it. Okay, it's a new idea for a first person shooter. That's great. You had Titanfall. You got Dead Rising 3. Dead Rising 3 look really good. You have Project Spark. You have I think Forza Motorsport 5. Killer Instinct. Which that Killer Instinct is a pro and a con, which I'll get to that later. But Killer Instinct. Rise, Total Rome War or something. That game, that 300 looking game. There's a lot of good titles. Also, Halo 5. If you out there, I know there's Halo fans out there. And I'm sure and I know there are some I didn't mention. I know there's some coming later, but those just an example of some of the exclusives that will be on Xbox only. So they have a strong lead of exclusives. Also, as you now know, the Kinect, the one of the pros now is the Kinect, and the fact that you don't have to have it. But one of the pros of it is if like you want to be lazy with it, you can tell the Xbox dashboard, Xbox ESPN, or Xbox On, Xbox this, Xbox that. So there's a lot of features that came with the Kinect. Voice commands, and I'm sure they're probably gonna have something with like facial recognition, and different things like that. Let's see. So you have that the exclusives. You have the feature of the Kinect. The interface looks cool. The way how you could have like one screen showing this, you have stuff on the side and doing stuff. But it looks pretty neat. It looks next gen. It looks really nice. You have that. Of course, it's coming with its own dev kit to where you're able to make games, and possibly get paid. Of course, get paid for them. I mean, why should you not get paid for them? So I'm sure there's going to be something like that. What else is there? Oh, the increase in servers. They're increasing from 15,000 servers to 300,000. I guess that means like less lag and more and bigger worlds. Better multiplayer, stuff like that. So it's going. So I'm hoping the online will be better. Also, the Xbox One has a wide range of TV services, and different things to do just besides play games. So you have that. They're in a partnership with EA, which I will get to. Also, is a pro and a con. So you're probably going to see a lot of exclusive things coming out of EA from them. So yeah, so that's some of the pros. You know, great. Good lineup of exclusives, Connect, increased specs, servers, EA. Stuff like TV services. If you have a big concentration in that. So yeah, so those are some of the pros. Now some of the cons. The cons is the console has been doing a lot of 180s. They've been scrambling. So the console's kind of shaky. So that's one thing I would say the con. It's just it's very unstable. There's always things changing these days. I do think it's starting to level out now, but there's always things changing. I mean, every week there's something else. What else? Also, the another con, huge paywall. Um, like you pretty much can't do anything. You can't do. Of course, you can't do multiplayer. Probably can't use your subscriptions. Can't use like DVR. Like pretty much every cool feature about the Xbox One is locked behind that $6 a year paywall. So if you got Xbox Silver, the most you can do is probably play single player games and play demos. So you pretty much can't do shit. So you're not really paying for a $500 console. You're paying for a $560 console. If you want everything, and in my opinion, with the way these next generations are coming along, you pretty much need to have gold. You need to have all the features. Otherwise, because as many new features are going to be on these new generations, you might as well have the Plus machine. At least for the Xbox One, you need it because you can't do anything with it without it. I mean. So that would be another one of the big cons of the huge paywall. Now I know I said that one of my pros and cons is Killer Instinct is a pro because I know that that's a classic fighting game that many of you have been waiting for. But one of the cons to that is the fact that it only comes with one character, right? Killer Instinct only comes with one character, and every other character that you want to play, you have to pay for it. You have to pay to play basically. They say it's free to play through Xbox Gold subscription, so it's not really free. Then you have to pay to play. You have to pay for the characters to play as them. So you're really not really getting the game free. Um, so I never understood that. And here's the reasonings why. And I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. There are reasonings why is because they say, well, let's say you play a fighting game and you only play as two or three characters, right? So, so that way you only start with one character. That way you only pay for the characters, that you want. That way you don't have to pay like $20 or however many is going to be for the full arcade game, But here's my counter to that. You could say, yeah, you only need to pay for the characters that you want, but how are you supposed to know what characters you want? I mean, is there a way that you can practice with a locked character so you can say, well, I like his combos, and then you pay for him that way? Because if there isn't, then there's no reason to have that. For one, it's dumb to have in a fighting game anyway. They're locking 90% of the game off you people. It's dumb and it's stupid and it's bullshit. Also, how are people supposed, like I said before, how are people supposed to know which characters they want? You could say, well, there are other Killer Instinct games in the past. Just know which characters that you want from the past, and then you'll like them, and then you just pay for those characters. But here's what I'm saying: it has been like over 15 to 20 years since we've seen a Killer Instinct game, right? It's been a long time, is what I'm saying. In that huge generation gap, we made so many advances in fighting games that it's not going to be the same. Like for instance, like Mortal Kombat 4 on the Nintendo 64, right? There are characters on that game that I like, but my taste in characters may be completely different in Mortal Kombat 9. The newest one. What I'm saying is, over these generations, characters change. It won't be exactly the same. They won't play the exact same they played 20 years ago on the fucking Super Nintendo. It doesn't work that way. Characters may be complete. You may find yourself liking a character that you never thought you would like. So how are you supposed to know which characters you want? You have to pay for every goddamn thing. Because like in Injustice, in Mortal Kombat, there are characters I would have never played as if I had to pay for them. I would have never picked up Harley Quinn or Marjorie Hunter. You have to pay for them, but like Harley Quinn, I would have never played as her if I hadn't known that you had to pay for it. My point of it is if you have to pay for all the characters, people are only going to stick with the easy characters. As soon as somebody I got there's gonna be some rich kid who's gonna buy out all the characters, and he's gonna try them all out, and he's gonna post online. Don't use this character. This character sucks. Use that character. This character has a 100 hit combo. Kick your ass in like 2 moves. You know what I'm saying is the online will have no variety. You know, like even in fighting games today, what do you see? You see most people there's usually like those couple of characters that you see everyone use. You know what I mean? You always have those cheat characters or those overpowered characters or those characters that just everyone can just pick up, and that's the problem that I have. You're not but is you have to pay for every character? What are people gonna do? They're only gonna pay for the character that they want that's the easiest to use. And I'm sorry for spending so much time on this topic, but that's just something that I wanted to address. It's just that you know you can only play as one character, and you really like there'll be no variety in the online. Everyone will be playing the same overpowered character. That's my rant on Killer Instinct. I was gonna make a separate video about it, but I said, what the hell? I'll just slap it in here. So yeah. Also, EA is having a partnership with Microsoft, and I say that's a pro and a con because while it is a pro, you may see a lot of exclusive content. The con is EA is charging like $80 a game. I'm not sure if they've changed that, but I've heard in the past that they're charging $80 a game, and I'm not sure if that's changed or not. But yeah, so yeah, EA they're nickel and diming. So I'm saying so you have that as a con. Another con is I've heard that the DVR is only allows you for like 5 minutes, while the capture for PS4 is like 15. So yeah, so I don't know what's up with that, but also another con is Microsoft didn't, they have a great lineup of exclusives, but it seems like they're really focusing on other things besides games, and that's not a bad thing, but they do need to realize that it is a game console, and so I do kind of, I'm not saying that the games won't be good, but I'm just saying that I do wish they had a more focus on games at their conference. So that's the Xbox One. Oh, speaking of Xbox One, the Kinect. I've heard that the sometime next year there will be a version of Kinect, that does not require. There'll be a version of the Xbox One that does not require Kinect, but the downside to that is it won't be coming out to next year, and the reason for that is because Microsoft needs to make their money off the Kinect, because having all these things in development, it costs hundreds of dollars to develop the Kinect, hundreds of millions of dollars, and they've stated, and so they have to make that money back. So we probably won't even get a release of that until sometime next year. So if you plan on getting an Xbox on day one, you're gonna have the Kinect. But in my opinion, I will, even though you don't need to use it, I say you might as well get it just so you can have the full features, just to have it. So that's the Xbox One. Now you have the PS4. Some of the pros of the PS4 is that the paywall is pretty much loose. It's a very loose paywall. Like, you can use a lot of features without the Plus membership. The only thing that you cannot do is play multiplayer online and probably the 8 free games a month, or however they're going to do that this time around. But yeah, but basically you can use all your subscriptions. They have party chat now. That's another pro. They have party chat. You can use that without the paywall. You can pretty much play your PS4, without paying much money. So you have those pros, the party chat, the loose paywall. You have their DVR is like 15 minutes long. I heard it's longer than the Xbox One. I've also heard the PS4 is technically more powerful than the Xbox One. I've heard that it is kind of the same, but I've heard some people say is technically more powerful. So I've heard some people say that the PS4 may be better in one thing and the Xbox One may be better in something else. That may be the case, but most people have been saying the PS4 is more powerful. What else? What else is there? Of course, they had a focus on games at their conference, and you're gonna be able to trade in used games, borrow games. You do all that, so there's a lot more freedom as far as the PS4, or there was, until Xbox kind of caught up to them. But yeah, there's more freedom, and they're also having some kind of TV service, Viacom, which owns a lot of channels. I've heard like Nickelodeon, Comedy Central, and all them other channels. So yeah. So it will have some degree of TV services, and of course it's probably going to have Hulu and Netflix and all that internet, So yeah, you'll be fine there. And that's some of the pros of the PS4. Also, it's cheaper as of now than the Xbox One, a lot cheaper. Now some of the cons. The cons of the PS4 is, I will say this. Even though there are some exclusives coming out for the PS4, not really a whole lot. Like, I mean, they have Killzone, and they have the Uncharted series, they have the God of War series, but they announced some stuff, but nothing of it was really concrete. Like, there wasn't really a lot of good exclusives as much as there was on Xbox. Xbox is winning on exclusives. I will say that. I believe. As far as exclusives, yeah, they are winning. Um, so yeah, that is a con. They're pretty behind on the exclusives. I've heard that a lot of games are coming in the future, but as far as like day one release or whenever they plan to announce it, I think they're gonna announce it at Gamescom in a couple days. I think it's like tomorrow, starts tomorrow or something. But yeah, so you have that. A full lineup of games. Or just we haven't really heard much. Like I said, they have a lot of it. They have a lot of titles on their belt, but we haven't heard much of anything. Another one is, of course, you get the pay to play online this time. I know a lot of people are mad about that, but I will say this in the PS4's defense, and I've said this before. When you really think about it, it's not really that bad because you can use everything else, and it's coming with Party Chat now. Um, you can use everything else. And most people, I'm sure most PS3 owners had Plus anyway, so it's not really like it means anything. You get free games with it, which is more than I can say for Xbox. I mean, Xbox is giving you free games now, but they're like old 1980 games that people have played like 20 years ago that aren't even really relevant. I mean, the only good one they've come out with, in my opinion, so far, the really good one is like Dead Rising 2, which just came out. So you have that. Um, so they have better games. Yeah, true. You have to pay to play online this time. But really, besides that, and besides the poor exclusives, there really isn't a big setback to the PS4. I mean, there really isn't a big one. So, I mean, really, besides that, I mean, it is what it is. Also, another con about the Xbox One, and sorry to pick on the Xbox One a lot more than the PS4, but I'm just giving credit where credit is due. Another con that I just heard about is the Xbox One will only be available in like 13 regions or like in limited countries. A lot of countries in Europe won't be seeing the Xbox One until next year. That's because a major con. Because think about it, like what if they said in America? They said in America, or if you're in one of those countries, you pre-order your console, you don't work your butt off, you don't work 9 to 5, you don't could put up your money for, pay it off your console, and then they tell you, oh, your console's not coming next year. And you're like, what the fuck, I went through all this trouble, and it ain't even coming out to next year. I've heard that they're planning on something like they're trying to have like where if you have a pre-order, you get a free game when it comes out next year. They're trying to work out a deal with that. But who knows? That they may give you something that's completely irrelevant. At that point. In my opinion, if they do give you a free game, it better be brand spanking new. It better be like top of the line. So that's the pros and cons of each console. But it looks like they're pretty evening out. I mean, Xbox One has the exclusives, but in my opinion, the PS4 is winning on features right now. At least to me. At least it's gaming features. As far as like, also the PS4 is being backwards compatible through video service. Like they're having this thing where you're able to stream PS1, PS2, PS3 games. So there would be some sort of backwards compatibility with PS4. It won't be through hardware. It'll be through software. If through a service you're gonna have. So Yeah. So really, Xbox is really as far as exclusives and as far as like trying to reach out to everybody. But PS4 is catching up right now, and they're also I feel like as far as gamers, I feel like there's more of a focus on that for PS4. And yeah, true, there are a lot of exclusives coming out. But here's what I say: a lot of games like I think Kingdom Hearts, I think Star Wars Battlefront is going to be multiplayer. Mirror's Edge 2, Watch Dogs. A lot of those games, those are the games that I want, and those are multi-platform. A lot of games that I want are coincidentally multi-plat. So I mean, I will say that it really doesn't matter to me as far as exclusives. So really, when it comes down to me, it just comes down to which console looks better. Um, as far as how it's doing in the war. So you know, so my take is I will be getting a PS4 either probably next year. I thought I was trying to get it for Christmas, but I may just get it next year. Once people have reviewed it and they fix the bugs, there's gonna be something wrong with these consoles. I don't care how next gen they are. There's gonna be something wrong, and they're gonna come out with another version later on, with cheaper, and that's probably one I'm gonna grab. So you have that. What else? I'm gonna get an Xbox One, but not until it gets cheaper. And I mean, even after they drop the Connect, yeah, I'm talking about like when it goes down to like 300, 250, like maybe like in a couple of years, or once they get a good once I see how the console is doing, and if it does well enough, and there's a good enough lineup of games, then I'll see what's up with the Xbox One. Because there are a lot of games I want to play on it. I mean, there are some games I want to play. I do want to check out Dead Rising 3. And I'm sure there's gonna be other games too. So let me know what you guys think. Which console do you guys prefer so far? Do you agree with my pros and cons list? Rate, comment, favorite, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Courage 6693 out.